This game reminds me of how Gukesh played in the World Championship match. So I'm not trying to brag, but you're going to see in an endgame that seemed like suffering. But at one point, I played for a win. I didn't give up, which is what I usually do. I either accept a draw or I resign if I'm worse. So try to take something from that and also pay attention to the endgame technique because this game was really instructive and it featured some of the basic endgames everyone has to know, especially basic rook endgames. Okay, let's get into the game.
Hi everyone, Stepan here, playing Borislav chess in game 79. Okay, so I won my last three games, and I'm playing very late in the afternoon, evening almost, because I'm preparing for a tournament that starts in a bit more than 2 weeks, immediately after New Year's, Bosniaci Open, and the rounds will mostly be played in the afternoon. So, since I'm usually tired in the evening because I wake up early, I'll be training in the afternoon. I did about 100 tactics today. Okay, I'm playing bishop e6. This is a weird sideline that avoids the endgame in the pawn of bishop g4. Oh, my opponent knows everything. Okay, so bishop g7, knight e5, bishop d7 is the main line. My opponent seems to know the opening pretty well. It's rare that people know this line. Okay. Now I do get to castle. Now knight e5 is no longer possible because I take. My opponent should have gone knight e5 there. And now I have ideas of playing knight e4 and bishop g4. Okay, so this bishop e6 idea in the Panov is relatively new. It's way less popular than bishop g4. It avoids the dreaded Panov-Caro-Kann endgame. If knight e4, then probably bishop c6, knight e5 is fine. But if I start with bishop g4, that's way more interesting. So bishop g4, using the fact that my opponent hasn't played h3, and then knight e4. Yeah, I'm gonna go bishop g4, because I want to prevent knight e5 permanently. And of course, I want to free up my e-pawn. I know that I'm moving the bishop twice, but I couldn't go bishop g4 in that starting position. Usually in these lines, this bishop belongs on g5, not on f4. Very, very interesting play by my opponent. My opponent's main idea is b4, so I'm gonna try and prevent that with knight e4. I know that I'm trading off dark squared bishops, but I don't think it matters much. Oh, do I throw in knight c3? I wonder. This is a very typical plan, and I actually played it in one of my tournament games in Dubrovnik, this knight e4 idea. Do I play knight c3? Knight c3, bc3, king g7. I don't know if I should trade knights or not. I think I don't. I think I want to keep my options open. Now my hand may be forced. So knight c3, bc3, bishop f3, queen f3, rook b8, queen a5 is an idea. Okay, now I think I do trade, because I obviously don't want to allow I don't think I keep this bishop. Yeah, I should control e5 if I can. Okay, so rook b8 looks normal. My opponent will likely play c4 very soon. So rook b8, it feels like it's time to go rook b8. If my opponent goes c4, I'm going to recapture with the queen. So let's go rook b8, take the only open file. This, of course, should be equal. No doubt about that, but my opponent does have doubled pawns. This is gonna mean something. It's not enough for any sort of advantage, but it's still something. Now I can choose to go queen a5 or queen c7. Queen c7 is the safe move. On queen a5, rook b8, queen g3. I can probably go king g8, queen e7. Queen a5, rook b8. If queen g3 immediately, rook b1, queen a2, queen e5. I'm just hanging that pawn. I don't think I can afford queen a5. But then again, if I go queen c7, my opponent's gonna go rook b3, and then if I go e5, there is queen g3 anyway. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna play actively. I'm going queen a5. There's also queen e3, queen e5 check winning my rook. So I'll have to watch out for that, but I'm hoping that I can compensate for the weakness on e7 by targeting c3 and a2. I don't know what worries me more. I think queen g3 now is okay, or queen f4, doesn't really matter. Although now maybe I can get away with rook b7. Rook b7, and my opponent should have trouble defending both pawns. Rook b7 defends everything. Defends c7, defends b8, defends e7. Let's do that. I don't see any useful infiltration points. I think my opponent just has a pawn hanging. Because there's no way to easily target c6 unless I'm mistaken. My last 2 games have been aborted, which I'm waiting for like 20 minutes to get a game, and then it's aborted. That's frustrating. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna throw in h6, I think, because why not? I can always grab the pawn later. I don't want to allow h5, h6, and so on. So h6 it is. Now on h5 I have g5. Not much has changed. There are still 2 pawns hanging. Maybe my opponent can go f4. Maybe. He does go f4. I really don't want to play f6. f6, queen e6, king g7. And then there's queen f5, queen g6 check. That just seems awful. And I don't have time for queen a2, fg5, rook b2, because there is queen g3. Okay, so I have to play queen c7. Is that it? I think I have to. I don't see another option. I don't think I can take the pawn. I shouldn't have gone h6. Yeah, f6 definitely isn't a move. Taking definitely isn't a move. I mean, I may be able to play g4, but I doubt it. So, okay, queen c7. I'm not gonna waste time. Everything else seems just awful. Oh, I have just blundered the pawn. There's fg5 and then queen f5, rook f5, hg, rook g check. But I may be able to get away with rook b2, although I doubt it. awful play by me. Yep. Yep. I don't really have a choice. Okay, let's not despair. It's a Rook Endgame. I can hold this. Although I don't see how. Rook b1, king h2, rook b2. My opponent just goes hg and then h7, king h7, rook f7. So I think I have to start with e6. I think I have to. And on rook e5, then go rook b1, rook b2. At least that way my opponent will not be targeting the f7 pawn in all those lines. Let's go for it. I mean, I don't have any other source of counterplay. I'm hoping that my passed a pawn is going to be enough. I'm not sure it will. I don't think it will, but that's the best I can see so far. It's definitely going to provide counterplay. The question is whether it's going to be enough or not. So I think the critical line is gh6, rook a2, rook g5, king h7, rook g7, king h6, rook f7, king h4, and then rook c7. And I'm guessing I can go rook a6, but that's a very ugly move. I would much rather play rook c2 or rook a3. But if I do that, then rook c6, rook c3. Yeah, he's going for that. Okay, so let's see how this turns out. Okay, so if I take on h4, which I think I have to, my opponent plays rook c7. How do I hold that? I mean, I think I have to take. Rook c7. I think I may have to go rook c2 to get some counterplay. I don't think rook a6 holds. That's just awful. Okay, so rook c2, rook e6, rook c3, rook c6, rook c4. I don't have much choice. I have to go for this. Whether I'm holding or not, I have no idea. But I don't seem to have a better option. I think I should be able to hold. But again, I'm not sure. If we trade these 2 pawns, then it's definitely a draw, because my king is well placed. Yeah, I think I'm holding. I don't see a way for my opponent to keep the pawns on the board. It seems unlikely. Especially since I'm going to be able to go king g4 very quickly. Okay, king g4. And now with c6 I take, my opponent takes, and it's an easy draw. Yeah, okay, it's a draw. My opponent's king is too offside to the g pawn is just irrelevant because my king is too good. My opponent's king isn't good. Maybe I don't trade pawns. Okay, if c6. Maybe now this is getting a bit risky already. I don't think my opponent should be playing for a win here. Their king is on g1. I mean, I can just chase this king back. Oh, am I gonna win this game? No, I'm not gonna win, but it's very close to that. Let's try to win. Okay, I can never trade rooks, that much is clear. So maybe I can go king f4, king e3. Maybe. So king f4, what does my opponent do? King f4, king e1, king e3. If rook a3, I just go d3 and I'm very likely winning. I'm going king f4. I'm gonna try to win. I mean, I'm down a pawn in a rook endgame, so that seems absurd, but my king is better, my rook is better. And I still have a passed pawn, so why wouldn't I try to win? Very interesting. I don't think I've ever considered playing for a win, being down a pawn in a rook endgame, 2 against 1. But my opponent's king is so bad that he offers a draw. It's very likely a draw, but I'm gonna try to win. I mean, let's pretend I'm playing like Gukesh. I don't think I can lose, so I'm gonna try to win. King e1 is mate now. The pawn is hanging. I'm threatening to promote. Everything is mate now. I'm just threatening mate in 1. So... okay, so let's pick up 1 pawn. Let's take the pawn. King e1 is still mate. Rook a3 still, there's rook d3. I think, I don't know. I mean, it's very likely that this is a draw. But how exactly my opponent should draw is unclear to me. Because their king is so awful. Okay, I have 8 minutes. I shouldn't rush. Yeah, I'm just building a bridge. It's over. I'm winning. It's over. Here, 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 and I'm queening. That's it. This is a Lucina. Come on! I won a rook endgame down a pawn. This is incredible. Unless my opponent can queen in time and win my rook, but that remains to be seen. Their best bet is definitely to take the pawn. Okay, now it's losing. Now it's surely losing. This is game over. Because they had to take the pawn. Yeah, it's over. Yeah. That's it. That's the end of the game. I don't believe I won this game. Come on! Yes! Down a pawn! Yes! I don't believe this. And I declined the draw. I'm so happy about that. It was very likely a draw. I don't know. If you're like me and you think practicing against the engine is boring because it either crushes you or plays like an idiot, try playing against Nocti. Nocti is a human-like AI that's going to adapt to your strength, is going to play like a human, try to trick you like a human, and challenge you on your own level. Samuel, the creator and owner of Nocti, and I have come up with a promotion for this World Championship. You probably heard me talk about Nocti before, but I actually think it's a great way to study, and it makes not having a fanatic chess player next to you, well, less harmful to your chess training, and you can basically train as if you were training against a human. So we decided to do something for the first 10 people who sign up for Nocti with the code Hanging Pawns are gonna get personalized training routines, which I'm going to make. So I'm going to create a 1 month training schedule based on your abilities, based on your problems, based on what you and I think you should be studying. And yeah, if you would like me to do that, check out Nocti. Of course, you don't have to go for premium. It's a great product, even with the basic features. But the first 10 people who do decide to use the code Hanging Pawns are going to get training routines made by me. So if you do sign up, just email samuel@nocti.ai and he will know that you signed up and he will inform me. Okay, let's get back to the game. Okay, so let's analyze. Okay, let's see the comments. I never really understood how to play that opening, the tile variation of the Caro. HPY just sacrificing pawns for the love of the game, I see as usual. La 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 la. Many challenging and rich lines. Seems like a draw, but not an easy one for black. Yeah, black wins. I don't know what to tell you. So let's start the analysis. So, okay. As I said, bishop g4 is the move here. I played bishop e6, which is, I know it's not the best according to the engine, but it's my prep. And it avoids the endgame. So, okay, c5, g6, here, here. And the main move here is knight e5. And you have to play bishop d7 as black. And that creates a lot of problems because you don't have as much control over all the squares. But in any case, my opponent castled. And yeah, h3 needs to be played, I think. Because my next move after bishop f4 was just bishop g4. And I think it has to be the best move because I'm undermining the defense of the d pawn. Okay, so let's see. Bishop g4, bishop takes, pawn takes. Knight e4 is correct. I shouldn't have taken on c3. Wait, bishop takes f3 is minus 1.6. Why? What's the point? Let's say queen takes. I'm an idiot. Queen takes, there's knight d2. I didn't see knight d2. Okay. So I'm guessing this is just equal. Queen a5, takes, takes, queen f4. Rook b7 is fine. I should have just taken on c3. I played h6, which is insanely bad, obviously. So, okay, let me just see. If I take on c3, h5, what do I do? How do I deal with... Okay, let's make... Okay, let's do the engine move, because I don't see it anyway. Okay, this is mate, so I don't... Obviously, I don't go to g8. I go to f8, but I can survive this? This seems crazy. e6 loses to queen h8, queen h7. But f6, queen e6... Okay, I mean... Rook c7 preventing queen c8. And apparently black is slightly better. This seemed very, very strong to me. But okay, I played h6, which is much worse. And still I should have taken on c3. I didn't. This is fine. I should have taken on c3. How? Queen c3 takes. Ah, rook b4. Interesting. I didn't see rook b4. If rook d1... Here, here, here. What about rook f4? Oh, I have queen g3, okay. Okay, I played queen c7, which is awful, and okay, e6 was good. I should have gone for the c pawn immediately. I was losing here. Okay, this was the critical line. And apparently it is a draw, but okay, now it's +1. I should have gone a5 and white's winning. Wow. Oh yeah, because white just queens. I'm not close enough to the safe squares. I need to be on h7 and on g7 when we reach. So, okay, if rook c8, I don't know, here, pushes here, here. If I go back, I'm not close to the safe squares. I need to be on h7, g7. Yep, okay. My opponent played rook a6 and now it's equal. And then king g4, d4, king f2, rook c2, king f1, rook f4, and white offered the draw here after rook a4. And it is losing a pawn down and it's winning for black. Come on. Yeah, it shouldn't have taken. Oh, I blundered into a draw. Okay, let's just have a clean winning technique. So here, this is forced, and then I just queen. My opponent's pawns don't matter. When I took on c5, my opponent could have drawn with rook back and rook behind. Although how? Apparently I'm not quick enough to build a bridge. Yeah. So he played king g2 and now I am quick enough. Yeah. Now this is just the Lucina position. Because if my opponent starts checking me, so instead of this, if check, then I just do this. Check, check, here. No, sorry. Here, check, and then I block. And then I queen. So the Lucina bridge technique. I don't believe I won this game. This is 4 in a row. Yes. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye-bye.